I may have found a new option for those of you who are like me, looking for a way to get your sled work in at home, but you have a factor like weather or limited space keeping you from doing a traditional sled outside. So I live in Kentucky, and about 3 or 4 months out of the year we get freezing temperatures and snow. So it got me looking around on the options for a sled mill. On the low end, you could go the deadmill route, which you could pick up for $100 or $200 used. And on the high end, you have options like the Matrix S Drive or the sled mill from the ABS company. And you're looking at about $4,000 to $6,000 here, which is probably worth it if you live somewhere where it's freezing year round. We all know how important sled work is, and that would be a bargain compared to knee surgery. I'm only going to be needing this for about 1/4 of the year, so I didn't want to invest that much money into it. But I also want something that I can progressively overload more than a dead mill, which led me to this. This is a manual treadmill made by Sunny Health. I'll explain the red straps laying there in a bit, but you can pick one up for $350 and you get free 2-day shipping if you have Amazon Prime. I looked at all the reviews and videos, but I couldn't find anyone using it as a sled mill, which is why I'm making this video. So I went out on a limb and ordered it. Assembly is pretty simple. The whole lower half comes put together minus the front 2 legs. Then you just have to bolt this railing to it. And it's got these 2 metal flywheels on the front, which gives it the ability to adjust the resistance here with this knob. It has 16 different levels of resistance, but I just really only use it on a low, medium, or high. So this is on the lowest resistance, and it's using gravity. So the lower the resistance, the faster the speed is going to be. I'm currently 170 pounds, and this is the max speed it'll go without touching the rails. You can see the difference here of my raw weight versus me carrying a 45-pound plate. I really like this treadmill for walking backwards. I've tried walking backwards on regular power treadmills before, and it can just feel a little bit sketchy getting started and stopped. But I feel a lot more comfortable on this. Plus it's on a 13-degree incline, so you can really feel a good burn in your quads and in your knees. And if you need to regress it even more than this, you got the rails here. You can support some of your weight and slow down the treadmill speed. So if I'm going to get 20 minutes of walking in, it's too easy just to do 10 minutes backwards, switch right over, just do 10 minutes forwards. This thing can work really well for sprints too, if you put your hands on the rails and push yourself. It's not quite exactly like doing an actual sprint because you're not pumping your arms, but I think I might have a workaround for that, and I'll do a follow-up video if I do figure that out. Now let's talk about using this thing as a sled, and a quick disclaimer that it's not the manufacturer's intent to be used this way. So I got a dip belt here, and I've got 2 ratchet straps with carabiners on the end. I'll just hook in here, and this is what you get. The ratchet straps work really well because you can adjust your position on the treadmill. I originally had them hooked on around the railing, but since all your weight's on the back and you're pulling from up high, this thing was trying to pop a wheelie. So moving them down around the axle works really well. This is on the lowest resistance setting, but it's still enough to feel a great burn. I feel it in my hip flexors, quads, knees, tibs, all the way down the interior chain. Here it is on medium. I can feel a little bit more resistance. And here it is on high. A little bit difficult to get started, but I definitely can feel it there. It does have enough internal resistance to use it as a forward sled too in this direction. It's not quite enough resistance for me, but it may be for some people. You can see I'm able to at least get my knee out over my toe without the treadmill slipping out from under me. So what I like to do is to flip your belt around, put something out in front of you to hold on to, and now you don't have the help of gravity on it, so it's increasing the resistance. My knee is well over my toe there, with a lot more resistance than going the other way. So I think this is a very viable option for sled work. It's only a couple $100 more than a deadmill would be. You can progressively overload it. And I would say the lifespan of this equipment is going to be more than using a deadmill because it's meant to have that internal resistance. Then when you compare it to something like an S-Drive, it's thousands of dollars cheaper, and not to mention it's a lot smaller and more portable. The S-Drive looks like you about need a forklift to move it. So this is how easy this thing is to move.